When Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev signed the INF Treaty in 1987, it was hailed as the beginning of the end of the Cold War. Decades later, its demise is triggering voices of concern around the world, including in Moscow.
With the liquidation of the INF Treaty by Washington, a serious blow was dealt to the arms control system, which took dozens of years to form. Far-reaching consequences for the international security and strategic stability systems are inevitable.
The US and NATO alliance backed the move to withdraw from the treaty, saying Moscow has been violating it for years. They say Russia deployed ground-launched cruise missile systems in violation of the pact and showed no signs it planned to return to compliance, a claim Moscow denies. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres is urging both sides to seek a new way forward on arms control.
The world will lose an invaluable break on nuclear war, and this will likely heighten, not reduce, the threat posed by ballistic missiles. Regardless of what transpires, the parties should avoid destabilizing developments and urgently seek agreement on a new common path for international arms control.
Analysts in Moscow say both sides will need to exercise restraint.
Конечно, если в Европе.
Without a doubt, if the intermediate-range missiles are going to be deployed in Central and Eastern Europe, then strategic stability will worsen dramatically. In the case of U.S. missile deployment, Russia will need to be sticking to the doctrine of a preemptive strike.
Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia Sergei Ryabkov vows Moscow will not deploy Russian missiles unless the U.S. does so first. And Moscow has called on the U.S. to sign a moratorium on the deployment of intermediate-range missiles.
I think the chances that this moratorium is signed are minimal. I would support signing of this document, but there seems to be a big impediment. Both sides seem to be half-hearted when it comes to the talks about preserving an arms control regime in some shape or form.
U.S. National Security Advisor John Bolton says the United States intends to create a new agreement on arms control with Russia and China. The Trump administration has expressed optimism a new pact can be reached. Russian leaders say they will keep the door open for negotiations. Yulia, Savchenko, VOA News, Moscow.